I don't see the new cows. Where are they? That's a little bit concerning. I swear this farm looks so much more majestic when we have a good foot of snow on the ground. Hey, large white farm dogs. I got treats for you guys. Here you go, brush your teeth. I've got some other farm tasks I have to tackle here. Hey ladies, how's it going? Aw, that's a no?
For Vermont Public, I'm Jen Jarecki with news headlines. Good morning. A winter storm featuring strong winds is heading for Vermont. Pete Benekes with the National Weather Service in Burlington says the worst of the storm will hit in about a 6-hour window later tonight, heading into tomorrow morning.
The winds do look significant, especially along the western slopes of the Green Mountains. So anywhere from Rutland up to Ripton, up towards Underhill, those communities would probably be the most impacted. But in general, across the whole area, we're going to see some pretty strong winds, it looks like.
Benekes says those gusts could be as high as 60 to 70 miles per hour. He also expects 1 to 3 inches of wet, heavy snow as a warm front accompanies the storm. In a press release, the state's largest utility, Green Mountain Power, says customers should keep candles and flashlights at the ready. The utility says they've doubled their field crews and called in external help to deal with expected outages around Vermont. And we have warnings, advisories, and watches for late today into Wednesday morning. High wind warning and advisories, a winter weather advisory in the eastern Adirondacks, and from the Green Mountains east, we'll have warnings in northern New Hampshire, and a flood watch from the upper Hudson Valley into Bennington County and through Massachusetts into southeastern New Hampshire.
It's okay. They're new cows. They belong on the farm. It's okay. I know, they look like big Abby dogs and Toby dogs.
For today, becoming cloudy with snow developing west and south of I-89 this afternoon, reaching northeastern areas this evening. We'll have highs in the upper 20s to mid-30s today. Snow possibly heavy tonight, changing to sleet, glaze, and then rain. 3 to 6 inches, and then 1 to 3 inches in the western valleys, 8 to 12 in the White Mountains.
So with the storm coming, figured it'd be good to make sure that the new cattle have access to the barn. That's why I just let them all out and mixed the 3 new animals, the 2 cows and the 1 heifer, with my existing female herd. The boys are still separate, but it's gonna be that way until the summertime. Pretty much my entire existing herd has now gone over to where the new cows were, and my new cows are over where the existing herd was. They're checking out each other's spots. They're gonna kind of be jockeying for position and try to establish a little bit of a hierarchy. You know, my existing herd had a hierarchy, and adding these 3 new girls into the mix is gonna change things up. With the new animals, you know, they have their own hierarchy where the big one in the back is the most dominant. This gal in the front is kind of in the middle, and the calf is the low gal on the totem pole. She's actually the daughter of this cow right here. So I know I need to be a little bit watchful for things, make sure that they don't have any crazy sudden movements. Also, Abby Dog and Toby Dog, but particularly Abby Dog, are a little bit curious now that they can see them. You know, the new animals were actually over on a part of the farm where the dogs couldn't necessarily see. And I highly doubt that they sensed that there was a new animal on the farm because, you know, cattle generally smell like cattle, I imagine, to dogs. But now that they're seeing these giant white animals that probably look almost as much like a dog as they do a cow, they're getting a little bit worked up. That's actually why I gave them bones before I came over here. I wanted to see if I could like maybe help pacify them a little bit. But all in all, this introduction seems like it's gone pretty well and no major problems. But this is definitely why I wanted to take my time and I let them sit next to each other for a couple of days just to react and not have it be a total shock. You know, travel and transport was stress for the new cows, and so I wanted to have that impact them and let them have a chance to chill out. Now this move is another stress for them. And so as always with cattle, in pretty much every situation, you just gotta take it slow. Of course, I think Joey Ramone is a little bit worked up too. I think he wants at him. Randy's a little bit curious. The 2 older ones are definitely gonna be part of Randy's harem next summer. The heifer calf is gonna pair off with baby B, and those 2 will stay together in the lower pasture, much like I had Bonnie and Belinda stay together last year. Hey Belinda, how's it going, sweetie? Calm down, boys. You're gonna hurt yourselves. I know, dogs. There was a lot of excitement today, and I expect even more excitement later tonight. I know. Oh, what do I have? Yeah, that's gonna be part of your dinner. They are so excited for their dinner. All right, Toby Dog, let's lock up the birds and dump the water. You know, given the crazy powerful winds that we're expecting tonight, honestly, my biggest fear is the condition of the hoop coop to make sure that some big gusts of wind and like ice and the snow doesn't rip a hole in the hoop coop, because quite honestly, that would be the worst case scenario for me. Or not the worst case, but that would be a very bad scenario, and that feels like the most likely bad scenario to me tonight. But on the good news side of things, with that recent snowstorm, we have so much snow weighing down the sidewalls of the hoop coop that I don't really have to worry about them flapping around too much. But the one risk I do have is, because this snow is still so powdery, we do have a very high potential for some big snow drifts coming out tomorrow morning. So it seems like most of the birds are ready to go for the night. Chickens are just starting to hop up on their roost. You know, somebody asked me on a recent video about Captain Janeway, since she's no longer staying with the weird chickens, and she's actually right down here. Boom, there she is. Hey, Captain Janeway, you liking your new home? Yeah, she didn't seem like she wanted to go when I moved the weird chickens, so I just let her stay here with the rest of the flock. And speaking of the weird chickens, looks like they already put themselves to bed. Let's just dump their water, put their feeder inside here, lock them in for the night. All right, now it's time to feed my pups. Give you some kibble, and this is the part they're gonna be very excited about. I just made this bone broth, so some goose bones and some pork bones and some trimmings. It's a little bit of everything. Don't worry, barn cats, I soaked your food in some of it too. You're gonna get some as well. All right, Abby dog, this part is for you. You can have that one. Don't worry, Mr. Toby dog, I didn't forget you. Here you go, pal. Ooh, you like that. Toby dog never eats this quickly unless he absolutely loves what he's getting to eat. He's a happy boy. For anybody who wants to make their animals excited about their food, just give them some fresh bone broth. It really perks them up, dogs and cats. Just make sure you don't use onions or any weird spices in it, and it's just literally brewing the bones. And make sure you take out the bones too, because that can be a bad thing for them. All right, Ginevra, now I'll feed you and Pablo. Come on, Pops. You coming, Ginny? Of course you are. Actually, you know what? Before I go inside, there is one thing I want to check before all's said and done. Ugh, can't forget you guys. It always cracks me up when you see like YouTube videos and like people walk away from the camera. You know they have to go back to get it and do the same thing that they just did. Hey Amanda, you're all by yourself. You know, you got that piece of ice on your horn. Will you let me take it off of you? Oh, you're a good girl. No, you're not gonna let me do it though. Well, this warms my heart. Would you look who just came to see me? She just came running towards me like she was excited that I was over here. You gonna let me pet you? Or are you gonna get nervous again? You came to me. Yeah. Well, you're warming up. I like to see that. Hey, there's my 3 ladies all in a row. Getting used to your new family? You know, these 3 cattle, they come from a herd, as I said in the last video, just over that hill. And the farmer that kept them, he's been keeping this line of cattle for, I don't know, probably more than 30 years now. He doesn't keep them in a barn, ever. They're in kind of the woods, and they have sort of like trees that they hide within when there's a storm. They actually don't have a barn. So in terms of being a rugged weather cow, I don't think I could ask for a better line. Hey, Belinda. And then the rest of my herd's all over here. Usually I keep this area closed off, but I'll keep it open for a few days as the herd kind of mixes and mingles here. This area is usually the corral that, like, if I want to work them into the chute or do like procedures on them, or if I ever get a vet over here, like that's where all this stuff would go down. But yeah, it seems like things have gone well with the herd integration, so I'm not too worried about things. And hopefully everything's gonna go well tonight, but I will admit I'm kind of nervous. Okay, time to feed the barn cats. Yep, here I come. Here comes your food, I know. Good night, guys, be safe. Oh boy. So it's about 9 o'clock at night right now. I decided to just come outside and do a quick check around and see how everybody's doing. Definitely gotten some snow. I would say it's probably, I don't know, 3 inches or so. See how the animals are doing. I don't know if you can see this, but both Macho Man and Joey are in the barn, taking refuge. I don't see any large white farm dogs out. Hopefully they're smart and inside their houses. Looks like most of the Highlands are in the barn. I see my white cows in the white snow. Get under cover if you need to. They don't seem to mind. Like I said earlier, they're hardy winter cows raised in this area, so they're kind of used to this. There's one of my large white farm dogs. My Toby dog's all snowy. You're excited to see me, I know, I can tell. You both are. Hi. Birds seem okay, Hoop Coop seems okay. You guys seem okay. That's important. So far, things are okay. It's just a regular old snowstorm here, so no problems just yet. I mean, admittedly, I'm a little bit worried, but it hasn't been all that windy. It's warming up. It's about 27 degrees Fahrenheit right now. It's supposed to be in the 30s by the time I get up tomorrow morning, and all this snow is gonna convert over into rain, which is gonna make this really, really messy. I hope we don't lose power. But even if we do lose power, we do have our battery backup, so things should be okay. All right, my two large white farm dogs, you're in charge out here, so I'll leave the farm to you guys. Good night. Ugh. Well, doesn't seem like the storm was too bad. Let's look for damages here. I got woken up several times over the course of the middle of the night with the snow just sliding off the roof. But I'm sure you guys probably saw that in some of the overnight footage. Pablo Barn Cat, you're brave in the weather. Just trying to get out of something, huh? This is definitely not one of those days where I like to do farm chores. It is 36 degrees Fahrenheit right now and raining relatively hard. And yeah, chores are gonna suck. Poor little Jeannie Barn Cat's complaining. I know, it's horrible, sweetie. Isn't it so bad? What are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna hitch a ride? Of course she's gonna hitch a ride. That was the most predictable thing I could ever imagine. My girl baby Jins doesn't like to walk in the snow. And why is she gonna do that when I'll give her a parrot ride, you know? Oh, how's my cattle? Hopefully my new cattle are doing okay. I'm a little nervous about that. My macho man's looking good though. A little soggy though. Hey pal, how's it going? Dancing in your hay? See Joey Ramone's still in the barn. The cattle don't generally like Ginny. And Ginny generally doesn't like the cattle, and so they always eye each other with suspicion. How's it going, sweetie pie? You know, as I was checking the cameras this morning, it's like Toby Dog and Abby Dog spent half the night outside just kind of hanging out. I know they're okay, but it just always like baffles me to see when they do that. You're looking a little bit muddy. Oh, you were in a snooze. I could tell you were sleeping hard. Oh, good boy. Good dogs, both of you. You're both good dogs. Yeah, all right, we gotta go do chores. Oh no, well, son of a gun. I guess there is one casualty from the storm, in case you're not quite sure what you're looking at here. I usually have this like little shelter that the dogs like to hang out in. I mean, even last night I fed Toby Dog underneath this thing. Somewhere in the middle of the night it collapsed, I guess from all the way to the snow. Oh, Toby Dog, I'm so sorry. You really loved that spot. Abby Dog liked it too. If that is my only casualty for the night, I'm extremely lucky. All right. Let's go. We gotta get water pumping here. I know two categories of animals though that are gonna be very excited about today, and that's gonna be the ducks and geese. I can already hear them clamoring to get outside. There's nothing they like better than rainy weather. I'm sure we're gonna see some of that today. Yeah, let me just dump out their water troughs before I start pumping the water. Let's go say hi to the birds. Morning, birds. How's everybody in here? Everything slid off the hoop coop, so that's a good sign. That means we're not gonna have any problems here from the wind. You know, like I said yesterday, the snow did a really good job of insulating things. I think one thing, by the way, that I have never talked to you guys about, but was something I brought up in a previous video that I should probably show you right now, is this. So this back end wall has created problems in the past, this year and last year, where I'll just get really strong winds coming off from the pasture down this way, and it can rip the plastic, it can flap around and create all sorts of chaos. And so what I ended up doing is I actually made a double wall. So there's actually now 2 layers of tarp in place. I got these like black, heavy, thick tarps at, I think it was like Harbor Freight or somewhere. And I put that on the inner wall. I just did an extremely simple job of just fastening them to the posts of the greenhouse. And then I added weighting down here to keep this part from flapping up. Then I actually have some rope to secure this side. And then on the other side of this plastic is the other wall of plastic that goes with the greenhouse, that actually came with the greenhouse. And that one has some ropes going across it too. The design that I ended up researching and finding is working pretty darn well is basically a double layered system that prevents the tarp from flapping too much and catching too much breeze. I present to you my poop scraper. This Rhode Island Red and this barred rock are the two birds that are always gonna try to eat my feet. You girls might be looking for some content on my OnlyFarms website. While I'm definitely not rushing to get outside, I know the birds are probably excited to get outside. Release the Kraken! This might be one of those rare days where the chickens aren't the first ones outside and it's gonna be the ducks and geese. Because while the ducks and geese love this weather, the chickens can't stand it. Yeah, we definitely got a fair amount of snow over the night. I'd say probably about 3 or 4 more inches, and then a lot of rain. None of the birds seem to want to come out, and neither do the dogs. That is not surprising. You know, one of the things I was actually worried about last night was the snow drifts, because we got so much snow recently and it was really, really powdery. But I think because of the wetness, that actually prevented the worst of the drifts from like going too far. I've never seen that happen to Toby Dog. But yeah, that Rhode Island Red, that girl right here, she just jumped up on his back. That was crazy. You know, it's funny, my younger birds, I think I did a very good job socializing them because they're so chill around Toby and Abby. Well, not so much Abby. Definitely Toby and me. All right, you gonna come with me, Abby? I'm gonna turn on the water for everybody. Okay, chickens and birds, hang on, hang on. And I know how much my chickens love old leftovers. Here you go. You know, I'm also so proud of these 2 dogs. I made a short video about this, but in case you guys missed it, well, roll the tape, Valerie.
So last night we had some visitors on our farm. You see, we have a duck and goose farm here in northern Vermont, and last night, in the middle of the night, a pair of foxes came rolling through. But luckily on our farm, we also have a pair of livestock guardian dogs, and as soon as they heard the foxes coming, they snapped to attention. Livestock guardian dogs protect their farm animals by barking and marking their territory, claiming this farm as their own, and scaring away any other possible predators who might want to eat their animals. And within a few short minutes, those 2 foxes went elsewhere to find their next meal.
Yeah, I am so proud of both of you. You're good dogs. Yes, you are. And because of that, chickens aren't the only ones who get a leftover treat. I got some old brown rice and some old mashed potatoes that are really for very good dogs. Do I have any very good dogs here? I do, I think. All right, Abby, this is for you. All right, Toby, that's for you. You can have some potatoes, some rice. You guys like that stuff. It's not like it'd be the only thing I give you, but you can definitely have some of it. Now let's check in on the zenness of the weird chickens. There we go. Rise and grind, my little weirdos. Some fresh food. Look at that Bet, she's so hungry. Now let's see how the cattle are doing. I know the boys seem okay. It was honestly the girls that I'm worried about, particularly my new girls. Well, they got plenty of water. Probably don't even need to fill the trough this morning. Oh, I see some of my cows over there. And this is one of those things that I don't think regular YouTubers have to deal with, nor do I think regular farmers have to deal with. I'm sure regular farming YouTubers have to deal with all the time. I lost my microphone somewhere in this pile of cow poop and slush. There it is. Found it. I'm gonna have to clean this guy off. All right, back to the task at hand. Morning, girls. How are you doing? What's going on, Ann? Seeming a little soggy, but otherwise fine. Hi, baby B. Hey, Amanda. Oh, you guys look like you're eating the last of this hay. With your hair wet like that, I can really see your horn nubbins starting to grow. Is that you? Oh, don't mean to scare you. We're making such good progress, girl. How is life with the new cows? Is everybody good? Is everybody being nice to you? Nobody's bullying you? Did you meet your new friend yet? You know, the two of you are gonna spend most of the summer out there. We gotta give her a name. something with an A. You get a B name because you were born on the farm. She and her mom and her aunt all get A names. So we got to come up with A names. So feel free to suggest A names in the comments. What's going on, Annabelle? How are you? You're looking a little soggy, but otherwise good. Chewing your cud. I don't see the new cows. Where are they? That's a little bit concerning. There they are. Hey girls, you like that new barn you got? No, it's getting a little soggy in this spot, but otherwise it gets you out of the rain. Well, it looks like you're okay. And hey, you got a barn now. That's pretty exciting. And then there's the rest of the herd over here. Everybody looks good. They're just eating more hay. I hope you guys have enjoyed this farm update. I'm gonna go head back inside now with the chores done and try to dry off, sit by the fire, and probably work on the Little Barn Cat book. Which, by the way, if you haven't already read Toby Dog of Goldshaw Farm, it's still on sale. And I'm gonna be doing a special book signing at the Peacham Cafe here in Peacham, Vermont. Here's all the details, and I'll leave a link down below in the description of this video. So definitely check it out. Come say hi. I'll sign your book. I'll have copies of the book for sale too if you don't have one yet. And I'll probably even read a few chapters and answer a bunch of questions. And yeah, there is a sequel coming. The working title of it is The 8 Lives of Lil Barn Cat. And it's kind of the story of Lil Barn Cat and how she ended up doing what she's doing now in the farm. I gotta admit to you, as much fun as I had writing the Toby Dog book, I'm having even more fun writing the Little Barn Cat book. So thanks for watching, and I will be back very, very soon with another farm update. Won't I, baby bee? And maybe you'll be eating out of my hand soon. Oh, you're wondering why I don't have treats this morning. That's a good sign.